This is chapter 21 of Flotsam, the Grave. Sandwiched between Mr. Locksley, Tristan, Briar, and Flotsam, Amy stared apprehensively out the truck window. The truck's engine strained with loud complaint as it reached the rough mountain, battling the muddy roads. When they reached the top, the truck's light illuminated the formidable-looking ruins of a church house. To the side of the church was a small murky pond that had overflowed because of the rain that had flooded the nearby graveyard, making it look forlorn and dreary. "This is it," Locksley said, stopping the truck. He stepped out, pulling Flotsam and Briar along with him. "Where to next?" Tristan grabbed Amy by the wrist and yanked her out the truck. "You heard him," he growled. "Where to next?" Amy pulled her right arm back and glared at Tristan. It felt as though they were parked right on top of the highest mountain in the world. Below them she could see Crabapple's town lights shine like small specks of glitter in a glass wall. "I need to be in the church to be able to see clearly," she murmured. "Fine," Locksley grunted, holding the lantern aloft. "Take her to the church, Tristan. Quickly." Tristan grumbled and led Amy inside the old church. Amy glanced around at the scorched walls and shivered. The old wooden beams creaked as the wind blew through them and caused the whole frame to tremble and quake. The walls looked as if one more gust of wind might topple the whole thing on top of them. "Hurry," Tristan said, glancing around nervously. Amy closed her eyes and placed her hand on the wall. An image of an old forgotten grave located on a steep incline just behind the church house filled her mind. "We need to find a grave," she said, moving her hand from the wall. The second she did that, the whole building shook as a gust of wind hammered the building mercilessly. "Loxy, she says we need to find a grave," Tristan said, pulling Amy out of the church. "A grave?" Loxy asked. "But there are hundreds of them, all ruminating in a pond water." Loxy frowned and took Amy before the host of waterlogged graves. "See those? Well, those are all the graves. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go dig up every single one of them. Don't you know which grave it is?" Amy shook her head. No, I don't." "How about this one?" Loxy asked, yanking her through the water to an old broken headstone. Amy shook her head. "No, it's not this one." "Then which worm-dried, sour-bleached, feather cheese noodle one is it?" Amy stood in the middle of the waterlogged cemetery, looking around at the misty graves with tired eyes. "It's higher up," she said finally, "off by itself." "Higher up?" Loxy asked. "I don't think we can get higher up. There are steps." "Steps?" Loxy's eyes lit up. "Oh, steps. I know of some steps." He yanked her along a steep incline, past the cemetery, where stone steps were carved into the side of the mountain, leading upward. They followed them, with Tristan carefully guiding Briar and Flotsam. When they reached the top, they found themselves on a flat landing, with short brick walls hemming them in. In the center of the clearing was a great, dark headstone that looked old and formidable, as if it had an eye that had witnessed centuries of evil. Amy bent down and traced the words carved into the giant headstone. She read aloud, "Rest in peace, Crab-Apple Joe, founder of our town, beloved by all and hated by none. No one knows the day he was born, and nobody really knows when he finally died. We just know he up and left, and we don't want this memory to die. May he live on wherever he is gone." "This it?" Loxy asked, drumming his fingers on the headstone. Amy smiled and closed her eyes. A pleasant warmth tingled up her entire hand and flowed into her body. "Yes," she said, standing up. "This is the place." "Dig, then," Loxy said, handing Briar and Amy a shovel. "Time's a-wastin'." Amy glared at him, took the shovel, and started digging. They dug for a long time. The hole got deeper while Tristan, Loxy, and Flotsam watched from above. Finally, they hit something hard. "The coffin," Briar breathed. "Amy, do you think there's a body in it?" Amy shook her head. "No, I know there isn't." "But what if there is?" Briar said, shoveling dirt. "The headstone seems cryptic, like they don't know if he had died or not. Like, what if we're digging up the founder of Crabapple? It's not only gross, it's sick and wrong. I'm sure there's a curse for doing something like this." "Well," Amy said, "I'm already cursed anyway, so I guess one more curse won't hurt." "Found it yet?" Loxy asked, holding the lantern out over the grave. Amy nodded. "Yeah, the coffin's right under us." Loxy laughed. "Good! Good! Here's a hammer. Quickly, pry it open." "You pry it open," Briar shot back. "I don't want to open any dead person's coffin. Oh, you will, Loxy thundered, or you'll be prying the lid on your own coffin if you don't hurry. Briar took the hammer and knelt over the casket. Fine, we'll pry it open. He pried up the nails one by one, until there was nothing left to do but open the lid. Open the dang thing, Loxy commanded. Don't worry, Briar, Amy said, grasping the lid. I'll open it. You don't have to look if you don't want to. Briar grimaced. It's okay. I'll do it. It's nothing like I haven't seen a dead body before. He took the lid, and they both opened it together.